Welcome, everybody. I'm Robin from Western Mass. It is Sunday, October 30th, 2022. We are in the Morgellons Call of the Week. And we are starting the Q&A session. We just finished the topic about the diet, so if you have questions about the diet on the call, now is the time to ask them.
Okay, welcome everybody. The FDA requires me to inform everybody before you start the King Diet or accept any of my recommendations or those of my coaches that you discuss them thoroughly with your medical doctor to make sure they do not interfere with any health problems you're presently experiencing. The AMA requires us to tell you that we are not trained as medical doctors, and only medical doctors can diagnose, treat, cure, or mitigate any disease, so therefore we will not do any of that. We do educate you how to utilize the King Diet, how to clean the organisms out of your skin, out of your environment, and build health and immune functioning through targeted supplements. Chris, who's first with our questions?
I got to say, when I first started the diet, it took me a little while to get what you were saying, writing it down and looking at the packages on the back of the food store, which I got, from first met Robin and stuff like that, and I was very diligent with that diet to get it to work in order for me to have success. And I did not give up on that diet. I stuck to it, and I still recommend it to anybody that's going through this. And
Why did you stick with it? What
Well, at first I was running around. I did go to a healer, which he didn't know what the hell he was doing. Excuse my language. Yeah, I mean, he gave me all kinds of products with sugar in it and stuff like that. He didn't know what he was doing. Now, he says in a interview on television how he was. I suggested something to him, and he took my idea, but whatever. That's besides the point. Now he's saying there's, I don't want to get off it. There's pneumatoids on ticks that get into you, which I told him. Which now he's saying.
Okay.
What I got from you, which I'm sorry, I apologize for that, but that was something that I remembered. But anyway, that's besides the point. But the diet, I stuck with the diet because I had nowhere to turn. I mean, there was nobody else out there. The other option was antibiotics, and everybody, you can't go on antibiotics forever. I mean, you can't. And people that say, there's other people that are saying that it's not a bug. To me, it's common sense that it's some kind of something that's alive. My own opinion, it's something alive that gets hung on to that likes you.
Yes. Now, may I ask you how much? May I ask you how much that other expert charged you? How much you paid?
Oh yeah, $10,000.
$10,000. My goodness, how long would it ever be before you invested that much in this program? Wow, that's holy smokes.
If I would have just listened to you and your protocols, I would have avoided that. But me being hard-headed, fortunately, I'm hard-headed, desperate. I feel bad. I feel very bad if a young child has this, and their parents don't know what to do, and the parents don't know what to, they just let it go, I guess. Unless they. Yeah.
Now, you did say something about no antibiotics. Now, there are two kinds of antibiotics, basically. There are doctors who treat you with prescribed antibiotics. They're kind of strong. I have several blog posts going back maybe about a year about the different antibiotics that are used. They can only be prescribed by a doctor because you have to be monitored. Long-term use of these strong antibiotics, and I was on them for a period of time. Dr. Bransfield, one of the medical doctors connected with Charles Holman Association, was my personal physician many years ago. and I was on some of the antibiotics. They change over the years. I was on Zithromax and Biaxin, and there was a Bactrim in rotation. And they have to be monitored because long-term use, they can actually destroy your gut, and be a significant problem. Now, that doesn't mean there are not antibiotics that can work. In fact, we have a natural antibiotic. At least I'm not going to claim it's an antibiotic. It's alicin. You can look it up in Wikipedia. It's a natural, it's derived from garlic. One capsule has the equivalent of 35 cloves of garlic. Now, don't run out and buy Cryolic or some other garlic supplement thinking that you're going to get this benefit, because all the garlic supplements that are out there, except for this particular one, are made and they're not utilizing or capturing the alicin. So a group of UK physicians or researchers several years ago discovered how to get the alicin out of the garlic clove without it degrading. See, the problem is, as soon as you open up a clove of garlic, as soon as you open it, the alicin is destroyed. The air completely destroys it, and it's gone. So you get very little benefit from it, from eating a clove of garlic. Not that garlic is not healthy, absolutely, and I recommend having and eating lots of garlic in with the diet. But the alicin that is now captured is available in capsule form in our Garcillin product, and that product then, according to Wikipedia, is an antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, antiprotozoan, anti-parasitic, and it works. It really does, my opinion, in my experience, and many others, it works. Now, an alternative, if you go looking at other protocols, is colloidal silver. And we also have colloidal silver in the store, 10 parts per million. It's the same parts per million as sovereign silver, which is the leading sold silver in the world, okay? Now, we sell, we probably sell 300 Garcillin to one of the colloidal silver. That is the way it leans. So, and for me, colloidal silver wasn't that useful in the beginning. Whereas I took one capsule of Garcillin and bang, I knew something was happening, because I had a detox reaction that was incredibly painful, with a swelling up of my knee, like 150%. And so for me, it's been amazing, and for many people, many people buy it like 3 and 4 at a time. So, okay, thank you, Nick. Who's next, Chris?
Yeah, I have a couple of quick questions, if I could, please. I have put borax in places in my environment, on the carpet. I've put baking soda, and in some areas, diatomaceous earth. Now, is it okay? Is it safe for me to leave, on these on the carpet? Would it cause a problem ultimately if I don't vacuum it up?
I don't think so. Although I've never actually used baking soda or borax like that as you're using it. I only would apply the diatomaceous earth. So using borax or I don't know. I'm not familiar with it. Have you ever used it that way,
I don't
Robin?
think it's effective that, baking soda is great for cleaning things and cleaning drains, but diatomaceous earth kills things.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to get.
I don't think that those other two would do anything on your carpet except.
Yeah, I guess my concern is breathing it in. I haven't vacuumed it up. It looks like a snowfall.
Yeah, well,
I grew up in the north, and I'm having memories of snow in my environment here with all the white stuff.
Yeah,
I might use the first two, and the second one, if it's just sitting in your carpet, you're not breathing it.
Oh, okay. So if it's sitting there, it just let it be. I mean, aesthetically, it's not very pleasing, but as far as any side effects with my lungs, it should not be a problem then, as far as you understand.
No, I mean, if when you put it on the carpet and it gets in the air, that's when it's a danger. But when it's just sitting there, it's not in the air.
Mm-hmm. So you mean initially when I apply it, then it can go in the air. I have to be careful.
Yeah, wear a mask. If you're going to apply
I haven't been wearing a mask. Yeah, I probably should.
But I wouldn't even waste my time with the other two.
Yeah, I would just use the diatomaceous earth, and you can put it in a spray bottle and shake it up. You might have to go to a dollar store and buy a couple of spray bottles to get the pattern that you like, or one of the spray heads that really work well, and then just lightly spray your carpet. About maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, I had an update on how to deal with rugs, contaminated rugs. We talked about it on the program. If the rug is old and if you had the organism from some period of time, it's probably best just to toss that rug. If the rug has some value, then you need to realize it's got different layers. You've got the fibers, the nap, and the padding and all that, and you would want to probably get a commercial shampooer and shampoo in the disinfectants, and then apply the DE or add the DE into the shampoo and apply that into the rug as well. But there is a detailed update, so you just have to go to bestmorgellonscure.com. That's best as in best man at a wedding, morgellonscure.com, and just do the search function for rugs or carpet. I'm not sure how it'll show up, carpet or rug.
Okay, I appreciate it. I have another quick question. Is that okay to ask quickly? Okay, yeah. I love your products, by the way. They are excellent. So for folks that are just, beginners, they're really great. I really feel they're helping me. Now, I have the Morgellons cocktail. I haven't started it yet, and I'm wondering if you could expand on that a little bit. I have not ingested the essential oils very much recently. I did years ago. I had tried, and I didn't do too well, and I'm just wondering if you could go over that a little bit. I'd appreciate it.
Well, I'm going to pass the buck on that one, and that is I'm going to pass the buck back to the description in our store. So I want you to read the description in the store as far as using essential oils. That you do them at your own risk. I'm not suggesting that you do it. It's based on a research project, and the research study was done, I think, at Johns Hopkins. You can look up the research. You do your own research and decide if you want to do it. I'm not going to say that you should do it or how to do it. That's something you have to figure out on your own.
Okay. So it's been helpful, though, as far as your understanding to some folks with many of our symptoms. I mean, depends, right? It's helped some people.
Well, the Morgellons cocktail that I put together is a combination of specific oils reported in a study against Lyme disease. So, and then AKA Morgellons and Lyme disease are often really interconnected. So it's a cofactor. So that's where the Morgellons cocktail comes from.
Okay.
Well, it also started, there's a essential oil blend called the Thieves blend, and it was in the Black Plague. These people created this essential oil blend and didn't get the Black Plague, and so they called it the Thieves blend because they were stealing.
Thieves were, actually, the story goes that the thieves figured out how to do it, and they made up this blend so they could pillage and rob a house or someplace by spreading it, they wouldn't get the disease. They could take all of they could pillage and take all of the belongings from the house and not get sick because they use this blend of oils. But I don't think it's used for ingestion. I think it's used for disinfection, if I recall correctly. But it's explained in the book.
They ingested it, though.
I don't know. It is explained in the book, and if you can, it mentions it in the book. So I won't stab one. I won't take a guess one way or the other.
Okay, I thank you. Then I have something else to ask, if I could, please. I love the pheromone massage oil. I forget. Can I apply that on my neck area and my scalp? I can't remember what Mary had stated initially. I know she said I've used it on my face, but
Mary, I'll let you answer this one, Mary.
I had no luck with it on my hair, on my scalp.
Okay.
Like everything else, the scalp is different. The hair has its own oils, and I just didn't have any luck with that. I have put it on my face. If you have Demodex mites, there's oil in it, and that can attract them on your face. But if it's strictly a pheromone-driven thing like the springtails, yes, you can use it on your face, and it helps.
Mm-hmm. But as far as the neck area or the scalp, in your experience, I'm just wasting it then, right?
My experience is anywhere but the scalp.
Okay.
So the neck is okay. The neck is okay.
All right. Neck is okay. All right. Good. But not my scalp. Okay.
Well,
great.
you can experiment. It may work differently for you.
Okay. I'll experiment and try. I mean, I'm grateful because the products are really good. They're really top notch. So you've done great work here, more ways than one. And thank you again.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Who's next, Chris?
I would like to have one question regarding last week's topic regarding enzymes, if I could.
Sure.
I couldn't be on the call, so I have information from reply, and thank you very much for sending it. Specifically, I have a question regarding enzymes and laundry. Chris, we're talking about the best way doing laundry in 2 steps. With enzymes separately and then with the NG detergent or whatever. And my question is, if I spray the laundry, for example, in some canister or bathtub with enzymes, with electrostatic sprayer or just with regular sprayer, and let it sit there overnight or maybe for 2 hours, and then wash the laundry in 1 step with regular NG detergent, if can reach the same result.
You want to answer that, Chris? You're the expert.
I didn't really get the question, Andrea. Can you repeat it, please?
Sure. If I can do the laundry not in 2 steps, like in 2 washing cycles, first with enzyme and then second one with the detergent, instead of basically pre-soak the laundry with enzyme separately in some bin or bathtub, and then just wash the laundry in 1 cycle in the washer.
Yeah, you could do that, but if you has a sensitive skin and you want to wash your clothes only with the enzymes, you can do that, the process which you are talking about. You don't need to use the regular laundry soap after you washed with enzymes.
Okay, but to really get like double effect that I will be.
I don't think you need. I never use laundry soap anymore, pretty much.
Just enzyme, right?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you so much. And second question regarding enzyme. If I use enzyme for body wash, how long should I stay in the bath? Like 20 to 40 minutes at the same time as with NG?
It's
Chris,
more like 30 to 40 minutes.
You're using NG and enzymes together?
No, she's not. She's just using enzymes by themselves in the bathtub.
Yeah, there is no need to soak and sit in the enzymes. You can pretty much spray enzymes, diluted enzymes on your body, and if you want, you can wipe it down, or you don't need to wipe it down. You air dry it, and it's okay.
I would still do a bath with Nature's Gift and then spray your body with the enzymes afterwards.
Yeah, you could do that. So you don't really have to use them in the bath. And as far as the laundry goes, you could do the enzymes, and then after they've done their thing, you could then put in the laundry soap if you want to in the cycle and finish it, because the enzymes will have done their thing, and then the laundry soap will do its thing. And it will destroy any enzymes that are there, but they've already been utilized for your laundry.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for those answers. And last third question, if I can, regarding pheromones. If I use pheromone oil, basically, question for Mary, I guess, how long I have to use it for how long period of time?
How long does it last? How long does it? If you apply them, how long do they last before you need to apply them again? Is that what you're asking?
No.
No.
Basically, if to get some result, do I need to use it for a week, for a month, or?
Oh, okay. Mary, you want to answer that one? How long does it take before she sees results?
My experience was that it takes about 20 minutes. Like it takes a minute for it to blend in with your body, your own body smells, and it just kind of alters.
That fast.
The smell of your own pheromones. Yeah, that fast, 20 minutes, and you can leave it on at least for a full 24 hours, if not up to 48 hours before you need to reapply it. Unless you're like, if you put it on your hands and then you wash your hands, then you have to reapply it. But yeah, it works quickly for a very long time.
So if you only take a bath every 2 days, then it'll stay there for 2 days. If you skip a shower or bath. Okay.
Thank you so much. Very helpful.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, keep coming back. Good to hear your voice. Who's next?
Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome.
Hi there. Pretty elementary question. I've got parasites all over my body and have for a month, and going to a few dermatologists, infectious diseases. I'm not getting any kind of consistent answers to what they are. Can you tell me the telltale signs of Morgellons, for one, of course, and then the less terrible diseases and the other, and what are they caused by?
Sure. Let me give you a basic rundown. Now, I cannot diagnose, treat, or cure any disease. I can't diagnose you, but I can educate you. And if you read Dr. Saverly's book, Morgellons, Legitimization of a Disease, she characterizes Morgellons as a disease that creates filaments or fibers that grow from your skin or lesions. Now, these filaments can be tiny, microscopic, and might only show up as perhaps lint or cotton-like balls in your bedding and clothing that you see that there's no explanation for them. You're not wearing a wool sweater or something that, or cashmere or something that might cause this effect, but you see these things around, or you actually see filaments and fibers growing from your skin. They may be different colors, red, yellow, green, and they generally are fluorescent, which makes them different than anything else. So even these filaments that maybe show up as cotton-like substances, they would likewise be fluorescent or show up in a black light. Now, that is it. That is Morgellons. So, but many people with Morgellons also have a bunch of other stuff. They feel itching, like something is itching them under the skin, like they're laying on shards of glass. Now, that could be Morgellons, it could be Columbella, so now we get into other organisms and cofactors. They feel biting sensations.
Okay.
And that, again, that could be Morgellons, it could be Columbella, or it might even be skin fungal issues. Or they get lesions. unsightly lesions. Now, it could be Morgellons or it could be something else as well. They get bumps sometimes. That could be Morgellons or it might be Pergillus nodularis, which is often associated with these organisms. So along with Morgellons is oftentimes a compadre of a whole bunch of other stuff, cofactors. In fact, there's a blog post I did on Mother's Day. If you go back and look it up, it has a list of about 20 different cofactors, Strongyloides cervicalis, Lyme disease, Candida albicans, just to name a few that complicate the thing. But Morgellons is filaments and fibers. That's it.
Now, Doctor, what's the book that you said?
It's by Dr. Saverly. It's called Morgellons, The Legitimization of a Disease. If you go to Amazon and you look up Morgellons books, her book might pop up number 1, my book might pop up number 4, might pop up number 1. You know, my book and her book are usually in the top 4 returns.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Welcome to the program. Is this your first time?
Oh, I've listened about 3 times. This is the first time I've said anything.
Well, thank you for sharing and thank you for asking. Keep coming back. We're a small group. We're here to support each other, and we know that it's not an easy task. And Robin and I and Mary and Chris and others are here to support the newcomers in getting their lives back. You know, you don't have to buy anything from my store to be a part of this. This program is too good to be true. It's really too good to be true, but it's true. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to make any commitments. All you got to do is make the diet work. And we do all the work here. I wrote the books. We produced this program. I answer your questions, all to support you. And once we know, once you know that the diet is working for you, I think you're going to want to get to the goalpost as soon as possible, and that's where you'll be using our products to build health and immune functioning, and our soaps to clean the stuff out of your skin. And there's no better products in the world than the ones that we have in our store to accomplish all of them. Okay.
Thanks. And congratulations to all of you for the work you've done toward this end.
Thank you. Okay, who's next?
Deborah.
Hi, Deborah.
9623.
9623. Deborah?
Yes,
hi.
Yes. How are you? I just had a quick question regarding the electrostatic sprayer, if I may.
Yes, could you speak up? You're not on a speakerphone, are you?
Okay, I'm sorry. Is that better?
Yes, much better. Thank you.
Okay. I had purchased the electrostatic sprayer.
Yes.
And I just have some questions about using it. I'm just having a little trouble figuring it out.
Sure. What questions may we help you with?
Well, I did purchase the enzymes that go with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really for dust. It's to kill what's in the dust, right?
The enzymes destroy organisms that, Chris went in detail last week about it, but they work with Morgellons, Columbella. It doesn't work with fungal organisms, but it works with all pheromone-driven organisms. It destroys them, chews them up, or makes them molt and expire.
Okay, and that's by spraying it everywhere?
Yeah, everywhere, yes, everywhere.
Furniture and mattresses everywhere?
Yeah, the enzymes, you can spray your countertops, you can spray around the food, you can spray your bedding, you can spray your flooring. Some people, I don't know if you're dealing with mites, but there are 2 kinds of mites. There are mites that fly and are airborne, in which case you're going to be wanting to hit the walls and the ceiling as well, as much as you can, and the floor. And then there are mites that are like bird mites. Most people think bird mites fly, but they don't. Rat mites, bird mites, they don't, but they get in sofas and furniture, and you're going to want to spray that too.
Right.
Now, for instance, for me, I had organisms in my couch, and I could not get them out. I used a regular spray, and this was back before I had an electrostatic sprayer, and I sprayed the couch, and every time I sat in that couch, within 15 minutes, I would feel activity. And I sprayed the footrest and everything. Nothing, I couldn't get them out. And then one day I realized that the organisms are not on the top or the bottom of the footrest, but they were in the ends, in the tufts, and the electrostatic sprayer gets them because the electrostatic spray would go there, whereas when I was spraying with a regular handheld sprayer, it was just directional. It wouldn't go around where the electrostatic spray does because it puts a charge on the particles. So it goes, and wherever there's a surface, it's attracted to it. So that's the difference of the electrostatic sprayer.
Right, and that's what I was excited about.
And it is exciting. It's a lot less work, a lot less guessing, and you don't have to think and figure out, well, they're in the tuft of the footrest because the electrostatic sprayer will get it.
Right. Okay. And about how often would you say?
You do it daily, 21 days straight minimum.
Really?
Whenever you're dealing with the possibility of mites, you're going to do the disinfection for 21 straight days minimally. And this is the reason because the eggs of mites, the longest gestation period is 21 days. So there are 40,000 different species of mites, but the eggs, the longest that takes is 21 days. So if a mite lays the egg today, it's going to be there for 21 days. And if you miss spraying on the 21st day, it'll hatch and reinfect and multiply.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
So spray everywhere you can for 21 days.
Yep.
Minimal.
Minimal.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And then even after that, I would do it every couple of days. But the electrostatic sprayer is so easy and so fast, I just keep doing it for, for 2 months at least.
Okay. Yeah, and the continuous going in and outside, I'm sure it can be brought back in, so probably would need to do it like
now,
that.
your automobile, is your automobile infected?
Oh, yeah. I'm
All
not
right.
sure, but that's another thought, isn't it?
Well, you're going to want to spray the automobile too, and it's easy in the automobile. But there is one thing that everybody needs to make note of, and it's the reason why many people have not been able to get the organisms out of the automobile and end up actually giving it away or trashing it because they can't get the organisms out, even with the electrostatic sprayer. And that is in your ventilation system, in your heating duct, there's what is called a cabin filter. I learned of this from one of our people. Her name is Elle, who actually came up with the 21-day challenge using the electrostatic sprayer. She informed me that she had parked under a tree someplace, and there was an infestation near there, and they got into her car, and she had trouble getting them out, and then somehow she discovered that there's this thing called a cabin filter. It's oftentimes located behind your glove compartment, but you can go on YouTube, and for whatever car that you have, you can put in the model of your car and cabin filter, and it'll show you where it is. So you can either replace it yourself if you're kind of a little mechanical, or you can take it to your a mechanic and have the mechanic replace the cabin filter. Because as the air goes through there, these organisms get trapped on that filter. And you're just never going to get that filter clean with disinfectants unless you're spraying right on it. And then it might not, okay?
Right. So it's called cabin filter.
Cabin, like the log cabin. I don't know why they call it a cabin filter. I guess they're talking about the cabin of the automobile. They call that a cabin.
A mechanic can change it, like when you get your oil changed.
Yeah, but I wouldn't wait.
Oh, right. Or you could just ask them to do it if you don't want to do it.
If your car is infested, I'd deal with it right away. Okay. Who's next?
Okay.
So I started Max 1. Max 1 will take swelling from my face. Also, I've been massaging a lot of debris from swollen spots on my face and things shedding everywhere. Is this normal? And at what point can I leave my face alone and let my body absorb and heal? The activity there should be coming to an end soon by taking Lucineron and Nitin-Pyram.
Laura is relatively new. She's, I think, in the program in about 6 weeks. And Max 1 is a glutathione booster. And it boosts glutathione. And if you research glutathione and look into it, glutathione is the body's major anti-inflammatory agent. All right. So, yes, it will contribute to reducing the inflammation in her face. Will there be a cause and effect of she takes 2 capsules? Will she notice a difference right away? I doubt it. In fact, in some situations, it's recommended maybe to go up to 6 or 8 capsules a day, and then back off once you notice the desired effect happening. So I can't really say that taking glutathione is going to magically take away the inflammation, but it's moving in the right direction. And how much, it's pretty much up to her to have to figure out, whether it's 4 or 6 capsules a day and how fast it's going to happen. Okay, so she's moving in the right direction. Now, what was the rest of the question?
She says, I keep the diet going. I just need to know I'm on track to have my skin feel normal and not purging so much. It is overwhelming and I'm worn down. Any other suggestions on how to keep this going and work and do all things I need to do each day? Thank you so much for what you do.
It's day by day. It's repeating and doing the same things day by day. It's important to realize that with Morgellons, very oftentimes, many layers of your skin can be literally destroyed. And so it's going to be coming out. It's going to be shedding. It's going to be shedding. So it's important then to use, my opinion is the best products are our Nature's Gift products, whether it's the skin lotion or any one of our creams, to be massaging into that area and bringing it out. And how long it takes, I don't know. But the key is that the diet is the one that's going to make it work. Because once the diet is working, and it seems that it is for her, the organisms seem to go to sleep. They're not replicating. They're not duplicating. So by using any cream or lotion by itself without the diet, the best you can ever do is kind of keep up with your breathing machine. You're not going to make any great headway. But with the diet working, then all this stuff can be coming out and be shedding. Sometimes, and you find differently. It's oftentimes massaging it in, but if you're overactive and over massaging tissue, it can also contribute to inflammation. So you need to, figure out what's best. It's even like when you're taking a bath, you need to use a disinfectant, and if you overuse a disinfectant, like I believe we had one lady that Robin reported a few weeks ago that used like a half a cup of pole shock. You're only supposed to use like 1.5 ounces of pole shock. Not that that's the best disinfectant, but if you overdo something, it can cause the reverse effect. And with her using that much pole shock, she began destroying her real skin. So you want to figure out what works best for you, and not overdo it. Overdoing it is one of the biggest mistakes people can make, and we actually had a program about that a couple of weeks ago about how people overdo things to a disadvantage. Okay, and there is one other question.
Yes, there is, and this one says, Richard, thank you for the information. I'm reaching out to you in hopes you can give me an answer to what I'm experiencing. First, in October, I was outside hosing off the bricks that lead down into my yard. Suddenly, I felt a sting on my behind, but I saw nothing, then went in to wash my hands and felt a sting on my forearm and watched my skin sink in as if a cigarette was put on my arm. Then finding spots on the wood and sink and bathtub that something burrowed in and only seeing a small black dot. Then small puddles of clear like glue appear on the floor. I'd wipe them more and then more would appear. I got more bites and went through this for 2 weeks. Everyone thought I went crazy. There would be small white, red, and blue circles over my clothes, sheets, furniture, etc. When I thought it was over, it came back in June and returns every year. Doctors are no help, as you can imagine. Everything I have is getting ruined. My clothes, furniture, carpet, etc. I'm begging you to get some answers if you would be so gracious to do so. I can't go on living like this evil nightmare. I beg you, please.
Well, it screams of some kind of mite infestation. I don't know why. It's just a springtime thing. And I suggested that she complete the questionnaire, and I sent her the questionnaire, and that questionnaire is available to everybody on the call. If you have any question as to what protocol or what might be beneficial to be doing to deal with it, the questionnaire can guide me because there are other things that I need to know. For instance, are there any filaments or fibers growing from her skin? Is Morgellons involved? Columbella may be involved here, I don't know. So the best thing, if you're in a similar situation and have something going on and want more definition, send me a questionnaire, complete the questionnaire and send it to me, or ask me for the questionnaire. I will send it to you. You can return it to me. I'll go through. It takes me about a half hour. I do not charge for this, and I will evaluate it for you and then give you my recommendations through education as to, in other words, if you read as much as I did, if you looked as many research projects as I did, you'd probably find that this is the case.